On August 18th, 2022, we were asked to go up to dance at an event in Irwin, Pennsylvania. It was called Music in the Streets, and there was a 17-piece orchestra playing called the Jazz Warriors Band. And my mom, who owns a store up there, was going to be able to see me dance, and I was really quite excited about it. But that day, Grace got me into trouble. A young man asked me to dance. It was at the very end of the event. I had already danced 3 hours from 5:30 to about 8:25. And I had gone up to him and said, "Are you a dancer?" Because he just looked really athletic. And he started unloading his pockets and then took me by the hand and we went out to dance. He was very reckless with me, and I knew I could keep on my axis. I was very confident about dancing with him, but he was upset with me. And in fact, he would go shamey on me because I let go of his hand and maybe didn't follow all of his leads. And my main concern was just keeping on my axis and not falling over, because I am 68, and I told him that after the dance. I said, "You know, I'm 68 years old." I figured he might have been in his 20s. So I thought that was the only dance I was going to do with him. But right as the very last song came up, this would have been like right at 8:30, he came up and asked me to dance again. He did ask Jim if it was okay, and Jim said yes. And there is a rule with ballroom dance that if you would refuse to dance with someone, you are not allowed to dance that dance. It's just a courteous thing, that if someone should ask you to dance, you can't dance with anyone else. So I wouldn't have been able to dance with my dance partner, Jim. I would have had to sit out the last song. And I think I was just so responsible that I felt that I needed to dance every single dance, and so I did. But another thing that he did was, on this last dance, he took me out on the street and he gave me a ballroom lesson. He says, "Now when I do this, you go under." And I do teach ballroom dance. I know all those leads. I was very courteous to him and let him give me a lesson on the street. And then he took me out and danced with me, reckless again. And there is 3 rules for the leader. One is to keep the follower safe. You don't run her into anything. You make sure that she's safe. And then you're also to keep her comfortable. You don't hold on to her hand too tight that you might hurt her wrist or whatever. And the last one is to keep her entertained. And so the very first rule, keeping me safe, he didn't do. And so we were dancing around and he backed me right into a speaker that was on the floor for the band. And I stepped backwards, fell down right on my right foot, and broke my foot. And so I have thought and thought, why did I say yes? Why did I say that I would dance with him the second time after he was so reckless with me the first time? And I think I just did it because I wanted to be responsible. There was a 17-piece orchestra that had played through all this sun and hot, and we were like a team. We stuck together. There was a great crowd of people watching. And I just felt like I did want to dance the last dance, and so I did. And after the accident, I fell down and broke my foot. But because I am an athlete, and because I am very determined, I guess, I got back up and danced on that broken foot. So as I look back on it, it would have been so much better if I wasn't so gracious to this young man, and if I would have said no. I've learned a great lesson. I'm confident in myself and keeping myself on my axis, but when someone runs you into a speaker and causes you to fall down, that is something that I could not have prevented by my own power of my own body, keeping on my axis. And I have confidence in myself now, but I don't have confidence in young men who maybe don't know all the rules of ballroom. Ballroom dance is one that is very courteous. And in fact, if a woman doesn't follow a lead, it is the man's fault, or the leader's fault. It is considered a bad lead. So all leads are only invitations. We do not have to take them. And for him to like shame me in front of all those people, That, like, shame. He was doing like this to me. That was not right, but I was very gracious to him. But because of it, I have broken my foot. I teach dance for a living. I also teach yoga, Pilates, and silver sneakers. Everything that I do to make my own income is dependent on my foot. And now I can't do anything for 6 weeks at least, and then I might be able to try to get into a shoe. I have a lot of rehabilitation to go through. I'm sure I can do it. I just feel like I can, and I don't know why it happened, but this would be an example of how grace definitely got me into trouble.